Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm just kidding. We shouldn't make light of something.
Funny,
It's so serious.
So it's our last day of quarantine in our apartment here in Lisbon.
Because we got COVID.
Oh, we got COVID overseas in Portugal, and this is our last day of quarantine. And we thought, you know what? We feel a lot better now.
Yeah.
Let's make a video and try to remember and also help others in case you get COVID overseas. Here's what to do.
Hey, we're Colin and Meg. And along with our girls, we love trying new foods, experiencing new cultures, and finding the most beautiful places in the world. In 2021, we began traveling full-time and started way up in Alaska. We took an RV trip through the Scottish Highlands. We lived in the old city of Dubrovnik. We learned how to make paella in Barcelona, and ended the year exploring the beaches of southern Portugal. 2022 is a whole new adventure, and we're excited to take you along for the journey. Follow along. So we thought of some things that are helpful for two kinds of people. The kind of people that are still planning to travel during this pandemic and risking getting COVID while traveling, and the second group of people like us that test positive while traveling overseas. Here are some things that we think may be helpful for those two groups of people.
Boom, that was the intro. Good job. Number one, this website is invaluable. You need to do it.
Invaluable.
Invaluable.
Not is, sorry.
It's very valuable. We are currently in the program with Airbnb called Live Anywhere. And this was one of the first things they gave to us. Because you guys will be traveling, take this website with you. And we're going to put it right here. And it's made by a company called Sherpa. But basically, you can put where you're from, where you're going, what passport you have, and your vaccination status, and when you are traveling specific dates. And as soon as you hit search, it's going to list all the things you need, don't need, links to forms you're going to need to fill out. And as soon as there is any update from that country you're going to, it's going to update within several minutes. I've given that a try before. And so, works. Yeah, there's going to be links, articles, all the things you need. It's going to tell you, for example, if you're going to Malaysia or wherever, it's going to say, hey, you need to quarantine for 7 days. These are the 3 forms you need. Or you're not vaccinated, cannot go to this place.
Right.
Everything's there. Go to this website, bookmark it on your browser.
Another thing that is super helpful for people that are planning to travel or get stuck in a country with COVID is to have some kind of amazing trip insurance. You really can't travel these days without getting trip insurance. That means you have insurance on your flight, and you may even look into additional insurance that would cover you should you get stuck in a country because you tested positive.
Kids, we are making a video.
Give us 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Shut the door.
Okay.
We've been in this apartment for 11 days with those children.
Okay. Again, this is not an ad. We're not sponsored, but we like a company called World Nomads. We've actually had to use it before in previous years, and so it is invaluable.
Yes.
AKA very valuable.
But we'll leave a couple extra insurance companies in the description below. If you're interested, reach out to them, talk to a representative, but make sure you get insurance. You need insurance. Okay.
You can also get credit cards that have trip insurance.
Yes.
But they won't maybe necessarily cover COVID, but at least your trip will be reimbursed for.
Look into insurance and get it. And then our last tip, which I think is the most important thing that we've learned since getting COVID in a different country. So if you haven't listened to anything that we've said and somehow you're still watching us on mute, please listen, okay? So we tested positive for COVID. We were exposed to somebody who told us they tested positive. So we knew right away that the symptoms that we were experiencing were COVID-19. So most of what I thought would happen is we test positive, we take a picture of it, and now we start isolating based on the country's regulations. Portugal wanted us to isolate for 7 days from the start of symptoms. So after we all tested positive, I sat thinking, well, this isn't any kind of official document. Like, who's gonna believe me when I say that this was my test?
This an iPhone picture.
It's not official. So I told Colin, I said, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but I think that we need to walk down to the local kiosk. It's like a temporary testing clinic about 10 minutes from our apartment, and get officially tested and have a piece of paper to prove when we started. And he was just, I'm kind of an anticipator, but he agreed, and we went and did that. And they gave us a little piece of paper. Anyway, sure, you don't have to show it.
Bottom line, you need something like this.
Yeah.
It has a little stamp.
It's super official.
Signed by a nurse, whereas iPhone picture. Not this, you need this.
Right. The reason this is so important is if you get stuck overseas and you test positive for COVID, then you want to eventually go back home, right? Well, the virus, you could test positive a lot longer than you're actually contagious. Okay. Hey! Say, I feel better.
I feel better.
All right, Charlotte, you want to say hey? Say, I feel better.
I'm Charlotte.
Okay. All right, hey.
And I feel better.
I feel better. Thank you,
Okay. But, okay, go play a game for 5 minutes and then we'll come.
Say travel safe.
Travel safe. I hope you go on a big adventure. Travel safe.
Okay, travel safe. Okay, go shut the door. We only need 5 minutes, okay?
What travel safe is?
Go shut the door.
Oh, travel safe.
Travel safe means be safe while you travel.
Oh, okay.
Can you shut the door?
Let me see this.
Later.
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 Why this is so important is if you get COVID while traveling overseas, you're going to want to eventually go home. Well, the virus, you can test positive for the virus after you're not contagious anymore. So for us, we were traveling, we're planning to leave Lisbon almost exactly 3 weeks from the date that we were exposed, 2 weeks from the day that we finally got a test to show that we were positive. So had we not gone to a clinic and had an official document saying when we were testing positive, there would be no way for the person, the Portuguese government, or even at the airline to say that we were fit for travel, because how can we prove that this test actually belonged to me? We can't. This is not official. But because I have a piece of paper that a nurse took my test and confirmed that it was me, I can show them that I tested positive 14 days prior to travel. I quarantined the correct amount of time, and now I can get a document that allows me to be fit for travel even if I still am getting a positive test on the day that we fly. It's so important. If we didn't have this piece of paper, we would be stuck in Lisbon until our test became negative, which varies. And thankfully, like America right now, you only need an antigen test, but we could potentially be testing positive on a PCR for months. So this is really important. So if you're traveling overseas, please make sure, even though it's uncomfortable, even though you feel sick, make sure to get some kind of official piece of paper that can document when you actually started testing positive.
To wrap it up, it's very sad and very inconvenient if you do get COVID overseas. It shouldn't prohibit you from traveling, because if you travel safe and follow safety measures, we hope that you still have a good time wherever you go.
And hopefully, if you do get the virus overseas, your insurance will pay for the accommodations that you need. In all honesty, there's always risk when traveling, but the best that we can do is be prepared and make sure that we have plans in place should something go wrong or should you test positive. So we hope this information is helpful. Stay safe,
Travel
stay
safe.
healthy,
Keep traveling.
do the thing, but in a safe way. That's all.
Stay in school.